If you enjoy the video and my content, please consider supporting my channel over on Patreon at patreon.com/kaatydidart. Thanks so much! Hello, my adorable squidlings. It is Katie, and I am back with another review and demo video today. Very excited to do this one. So today we're going to be looking at the Arteza 36 watercolor pan set, and we're also going to be looking at the 14 sheets of expert watercolor paper pad by Arteza. They were super generous enough to reach out to me and ask if I wanted to do a review on any of these products, and I was more than happy to say yes because honestly, Arteza products are really fun. So yeah, so let's take a look at what is inside the tin. So first off, I've noticed that it is a really sturdy tin. It's also got a little thumb hole so you can paint plein air if you want. Really like this tin. It doesn't feel cheap, which is always nice. And plus these tins are just really easy to travel with and stuff. So once I open it, you'll be able to see what it looks like on the inside. It is a nice white, so you can mix some pretty clean mixes and stuff. And then of course you have the pans themselves. Mine came a little undone. I don't know which color is which because there is nothing printed on the pan, which I found a little annoying. Here is the color like swatches with the names and numbers on it, but unfortunately I don't know which is which because some of them came out and I think they got a little mixed up, so that's a little unfortunate. So first off, I'm going to be swatching them out on this watercolor paper. I did give each and every one of them a spritz with a water bottle just to kind of get them working, I guess. That's kind of been my experience with pan watercolors, as I normally have to do that. So these paints are really vibrant, they're very pigmented, and I really like the selection of the colors, and the paper is really nice too. This paper really holds up to a lot of different washes and abuse. This paper, I don't know if you guys remember my last time I reviewed an Arteza watercolor paper, but the last time I reviewed one, it had these weird like little lines on it, but that is not true for the expert version of this paper. This is cold pressed, so it does have texture, but it is not the weird lines like the last one. I do still like the other watercolor paper, I still use it, but this one is definitely more my favorite and it works a lot better for me. And I like the texture, I like how much it seems to be able to take. It takes a lot of erasing, it takes a lot of water, it doesn't really warp that much, which is really nice, and it's very thick and sturdy. I believe it's 140 pounds, which is 300 GSM, so it's really sturdy, and honestly, it's just a really lovely paper. These paints go on it really nicely too, which I find amazing, and they flow really well onto the paper, which is nice too. So now we're getting into an illustration. I want to be the first to say I know that there are problems with the drawing itself. It's kind of stiff, the anatomy is a little wonky. I've been in a little bit of an art rut lately, and so I'm just kind of doodling for fun, and I actually really liked this doodle, so I thought that I would paint it. The method I'm using for this painting is very messy. I just have really been wanting to loosen up in my art a little bit, so I've been just blocking out color really quickly and pretty much painting that whole way, and it's been nice. It's definitely, I'm at a point where I'm not too concerned. Like, I'm concerned about where the paint goes, but I don't want to be too perfectionist-y, if that makes any sense, so I'm trying to break out of that. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. If you are interested in any products from Arteza, I actually have a discount code that is going to last until January 31st, 2019, and that is for 10% off. I'll put the discount code on the screen. It's KatydidArt3, and again, you can get 10% off all of your Arteza purchases until then, so yay for that. Arteza is a really nice brand. They're definitely not the highest quality out there, but I do think Arteza is really great for people wanting to get into the art industry and, not industry, but like, you know, wanting to do art and wanting to not break your bank with buying art supplies, because we all know art supplies are expensive. But they're also not really bad quality. Like, sometimes you can go to your local Hobby Lobby or Michael's and get, you know, like the Reeve set or something, and typically they'll be chalky and maybe hard to work with. And this, in my opinion, is not true for Arteza. I think they're really high quality. Everything I've ever tried from Arteza, outside of them not being light fast, has been really a great experience. I like their watercolors, and I like these pan watercolors a lot more than I like their tube watercolors. Their tube watercolors were a little bit more chalky, but these ones aren't chalky, which is really nice. Plus, they're in pans, so they're like travel-y. You can travel with them. And I don't know, I typically don't like pans more than tube paints, but in this case I really do like them more, so that is always nice. As far as the redundancy and the colors, I do find that there are quite a bit of yellows and a lot of the blues do look the same, but other than that, I think it has a really nice selection of colors. I think I'm going to rearrange the colors in my pan to be more rainbow order, because the way they came was very weird. It was like yellows, then reds, then blues, then reds, then it was very strange. I don't know. So I think I'm going to rearrange them. One of the things I noticed about these is that their tinting strength is not very strong. So if you add a little bit too much water, they're going to be really light. And it's definitely something I had to work with while doing this piece, because as I would work, I would water them down just like I would my normal watercolors, but my normal watercolors are a little bit stronger than these, so I found myself watering them down too much. And so they were getting a lot lighter than I wanted them to be, which is nothing wrong with that. You just really want to make sure you're getting the right ratios for the colors that you want of water to paint. And of course you want to test it out. I did not test it out just because I was like, I'm a watercolor artist, I know. But no, I wish I had of. So trial and error is definitely a way to go, but if you want to make your life easier, just swatch them out on a piece of paper first. I also found that with both the paper and the paint, they took layers really nicely. The under layers didn't reactivate at all, really. Not unless I was really trying to get them to reactivate. And the paper took the layers and didn't even question anything. Like I said, it took everything I handed and then asked for more. Like, it was super great, so I am very pleasantly pleased with that. If I were to recommend this set of watercolors to any particular artist, I would definitely stick with a beginner in mind. If you have higher quality paints like, you know, when M. Graham or Daniel Smith or something, I wouldn't necessarily go out and purchase these for yourself unless you're really just wanting to try them. Because obviously they're not going to be better than those. But if you are a beginner or you have an artist in your family, honestly, these are a really great starter set. I always say this, but I wish I had started with a set like this instead of the sets I did start with. When I was a kid, I started with some really bad sets, and I thought I hated watercolors because of that. But little did I know I was just using bad sets, so I do know that paint quality does not make the artist, but it certainly helps with trying to get your paintings to go the way you want them. I did find that these lifted pretty well. From what I understand, that's typically a quality with more student grade paints, is that they lift easier so you can fix your mistakes a little easier. Side note, that ant on the screen is really annoying. I have sugar ants, and they love my watercolor paints for some very odd reason, so I am sorry. I know that they've been a featured guest in a few of my videos, and a few of you have been commenting on it. I'm really sorry. Yeah. Anyway, after I finished, you know, getting the base layers down on my character, I decided to just make a really messy background. I've been into the messy look lately, and it's just been fun, and it's something I would really like to do with my art, I guess. But yeah, I really like these paints. I really enjoy this paper. Actually, this paper is really nice, and I would definitely be getting more of this when I'm out, because I go through watercolor paper like crazy, and finding something that's inexpensive is really nice, because my favorite watercolor paper is relatively expensive, so this is actually pretty nice. But don't forget to use the coupon code KatydidArt3 if you want to get 10% off your Arteza order. Thank you so much to Arteza for sending me these products to test out and do a review on. You guys are awesome. But yeah, I hope this review was informational. I hope it was helpful. And I hope that it helped you form an opinion on whether you would want to get these for yourself, for someone else, or maybe even not. You know, that's always a viable option. But anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. Here is a look at the final piece. Don't forget, if you're not already part of our Cute Squid pod, there is a subscribe button down below. I also have social media links in the description below. And yeah, until next time, my adorable squidlings, toodaloo!